up, mate. Got cake, mate. Got cheese, mate. Got bread, mate.
All right, it's time for our second March Madness video, and let's jump into the West region where our number 1 seed North Carolina Tar Heels are still waiting to see who they play in the first round play-in game against Howard and Wagner. I'm pretty sure it's Wagner, maybe Wagner, but I think it's Wagner. But Howard, they look good. They have a really good offense, very three-point heavy, running gun. They're in the play-in game Tuesday night, so that's tonight. I like them laying 3 points against Wagner. And if they go ahead and play North Carolina, I think the line's kind of messed up here because it shows that Howard is a 24-point dog, and then Wagner's a 21-point dog. But Howard's favored by 3 against Wagner, so that's kind of confusing there. But anyway, we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. But if I was to play one, I think Howard, if they play North Carolina, I think they can play them pretty tough up and down. They can score. They played Kansas tough last year. So if it's at 24 and a half, I would probably take Howard, take the points with them, see if they keep it close with North Carolina. But again, these numbers could change. Wagner could win. So we'll just have to wait and see. But that's kind of where I'm thinking Wagner can keep up offensively. No, Howard can keep up offensively. Wagner, not so much. So let's get to this is a pretty good region. Let's get to the next game, and that's number 8 Mississippi State against number 9 Michigan State, favored by 1 point. And this game is going to be on Thursday at 11:20. All this will be Central Time. Remember, this is our second video. I'll have a video for each for region. Not necessarily my picks. I'll be going over the numbers and what I think and a deep dive in as much information as I have gathered on the matchups. Some of them I will give you plays, but like I said, the official plays will be on the website probably Wednesday night for Thursday and Thursday night for Friday's card. So just FYI, if you haven't seen the first video, the East region. So let's get into this one. I think this Michigan State team, they haven't been great all year. This is very true, but they have really good metrics and they match up really well with Mississippi State. So Michigan State laying 1 point here. That's right. I think it might get to 1.5, but I think there'll be a lot of buyback for Mississippi State. Like I said, it's kind of a coin flip game here. But with Michigan State, they got veteran guards that showed up last year in the tournament. I thought Michigan State would get knocked out in the second round, but they ended up making a run, almost getting to the Final Four. So this team with Tom Izzo, they pretty much turned it on. They flipped the switch once March came along, and that's probably why Michigan State got that little edge over the St. John's of the world. They got Tom Izzo, you know, maybe get that little bit, that little bump there. But they're really good. They're a really good team offensively. If these guards could, take care of the basketball, shoot the three, Mississippi State's gonna be the better rebounding team. Of course, we know Mississippi State's gonna be pretty good at defense, but Michigan State also has a decent defense of their own. Uh, They can shoot the three, and they rank higher pretty much in every important category. Michigan State is than Mississippi State, so that's something else that was kind of interesting when I came across this matchup. And the main thing for Michigan State is they do not turn the ball over, and Mississippi State turns the ball over at a very high rate. So this is something that I think is going to be the most important aspect of this matchup is going to be the guard play and turnovers. Mississippi State's best player is a freshman, so this is all going to be brand new to him. So that's something to look out for. They have a great defense, but how far can that defense carry them? What offense is going to show up? We know they went off against Tennessee, but is that like a one-time thing? Can it happen again? This Michigan State team is going to be rested, well coached, veteran guards, some pretty strong freshmen, and some big men that can give Mississippi State trouble. I like Michigan State in this matchup. Like I said, 1 point. I think it can get to 1.5, but there'll be some buyback. But I like Michigan State Spartans. in this matchup because of the guard play and the way that they can shoot the 3 pointer. If Mississippi State's playing tough, if Spartans need a bucket, them being able to shoot the 3 pointer, having guards that can create their own shot with Hogard and Walker, I think this is the matchup, and a little bit of underrated side here with the Spartans. All right, so let's go to our next matchup, and this is another great game. Number 5, St. Mary's Gales against, or laying 5.5 points against the Grand Canyon Antelopes. This game will be Friday night. I think it's the last game of the night at 9 o'clock. So Grand Canyon, we know they're the trendy dog. A lot of people are picking them to win, get the upset. To me, this is a dead even game. So the spread at 5.5 is pretty interesting to me. Um, Although it's a dead even game, St. Mary's kind of they rate higher in all the important categories, higher than Grand Canyon. So Grand Canyon's main issue is they turn the ball over way too many times, and St. Mary's is one of the best teams in the country with not turning the ball over. They don't turn the ball over hardly ever. But everything is very close, metric wise, number wise, to both of these teams. So for me, this game is dead even. So getting 5.5 with Grand Canyon, that's kind of looking like a pretty nice deal. The problem with Grand Canyon is going to be the turnovers. St. Mary's does have good size, but they have about the same kind of rebounding rates and grades as Grand Canyon. I just think that this is just such a close matchup. St. Mary's was really impressive in the West Coast Conference tournament and at the end of the year, not so much at the beginning of the season. So, which St. Mary's team are we going to get? But that's pretty much where I'm at right here. That it's a dead even game. Maybe the spread should be around 4 points, 3.5, 4.5. But with 5.5 points in a feel of a dead even game, I'd have to probably take the points with Grand Canyon. Like I said, they're pretty close in every metric: offense, defense, 3 point shooting. I think Grand Canyon shoots the ball. I think they shoot the three a little bit better than St. Mary's, if I'm remembering correctly. But the main thing is going to be the turnover. If Grand Canyon gives St. Mary's those extra possessions, those extra turnovers with their type of offense, very precise and fundamental, they should be able to take advantage of that. That's why I'm waiting to see kind of how this line plays out. If it ends up closing 5.5, I'll probably take the points. But if this gets a little closer to that 4 territory, I might look at St. Mary's. Again, the 3 point shooting Grand Canyon is pretty nice, but the fundamentals, the way St. Mary's doesn't turn the ball over, I think that's going to be a big issue for Grand Canyon. With those mistakes, St. Mary's are going to capitalize on. So we'll wait and see. But if you really like Grand Canyon, I'd say scoop up the points now. I don't see this getting to a 6. I don't think so. You never know. But I feel like this number will go down closer towards St. Mary's at 4-ish, 4.5-ish. But right there, I mean, I would need a 4, but again, we'll see how this number goes. I'm not firing it yet. I want to see how it plays out. So the next game, 4 seeded Alabama laying 9.5 points against College of Charleston. All right. So what we know about this game is two high-powered offenses. We know Alabama likes to get up and down the floor, and College of Charleston is going to be right there with them. They're going to want to run, shoot the three. So we won't see much defense played in this game, but Charleston plays a little bit more defense than Alabama. Alabama's defense is just non-existent. They're ranking almost they're in the fourth percentile here. Defensively, they almost rank in the 300s. Like, that's how bad this Alabama defense is. They said, you know what? Forget it. No more defense. Let's just try to outscore people, score 100 points, and go about it that way. And College of Charleston, they're gonna want to do the same thing and play with them, but they do have a decent defense, so that's something to look at. They both have great rebounding. Alabama turns the ball over too many times, too much. They turn the ball over too much, and this is where Charleston can take advantage of that, getting these extra possessions. So for me, 9.5 points, I'm leaning towards College of Charleston. There's some juice on Alabama minus 9.5. So this might get to double digits and I might want to take it then. But right now, I'll just wait and see. Like I said, this is a game for me that I want to wait to see where the line goes. But at 9.5, I kind of like Charleston in an up and down game with no defense. So they have a chance to stick in this one, especially because of the way they shoot the three. Another good game. Number 6 seed Clemson against the number 11 New Mexico Lobos, favored by 2 points. So this just got to two earlier today, and now we're seeing some buyback on Clemson getting +2. So I could see this line simmering out and settling at New Mexico -1, 1.5. More than likely 1.5, I would think. And this game's gonna be on Friday at 2:15. We know New Mexico's red hot. They have some of the best guard play in the country right now, and that could carry them in this tournament, especially where they're seeded. So they also have great rebounding as well. And if they can get past Clemson, who's Clemson on the backside of the season's kind of been, faltering a little bit. New Mexico's got the better defense. They got the better rebounding. If they can just keep Clemson off of the 3 point line, I feel like New Mexico will, do great here. I think I saw some statistics where any 11 seed favored over a 6 seed typically wins by double digits, blowout fashion, total upset. But yeah, that doesn't matter to me. No matter what the seed is, like I said, Clemson has had trouble at the end of the year, and they're basically live and die by the three. They can work the ball inside, but seeing as how New Mexico has a pretty good post presence, rebounding and defensively, they're not just gonna be able to feed it inside of PJ Hall for layups. So they're gonna have to work to get this victory. And like I said, New Mexico's guards, New Mexico in general, they're just absolutely on fire. It's hard to go against them. So give me the Lobos here. Like I said, laying 2 points, 1.5, one, whatever it may be. They're just the hotter team, better team. Clemson kind of peaked way too early this season, in my opinion, and kind of coasted into the tournament from basically based off of what they did earlier in the season. It was just enough to get them in. And our next game, number 3 seeded Baylor laying 14 points against Colgate. This game's at Friday, 11:45 a.m. Last year, I thought Colgate had a chance to stay close with Texas in the first round, but UT ended up just destroying them. And I feel like Baylor's going to do the same here. Colgate has a decent defense, but Baylor has one of the best offenses in the country, especially from beyond the 3 point line. Baylor creates, they will be able to create more possessions because of the way they rebound the basketball. So that's something else to look at. Rebounding for Baylor and their 3 point shooting should be enough to get them over Colgate. Colgate basically, what they do best is play defense, but this is going to be a huge step up in competition for them. I really like Baylor on offense here. Their veteran guards, as well as their freshmen on the inside and outside with Jacoby Walter and Eve Misi, the big post presence. So 14 points, I could see this, running up a little bit more. But as of right now, 14 points seems like a bargain with Baylor. I could see this closing at like 16 or more points. But yeah, Colgate, I don't think they'll be able to keep up offensively. They have a good defense, decent defense, for their size. But with playing against Baylor, you're gonna have to score some points. And Baylor doesn't turn the ball over. Well, they kind of do, but like I said, just offensively, Baylor should be able to roll in this game. So I'll take Baylor there, laying 14 points. Like I said, I think that's a bargain, and that'll only get larger as the week moves on. The next game, another pretty close game, maybe a toss up, maybe not a toss up, but the number 7 Dayton Flyers against number 10 Nevada. Nevada favored by 1.5 points right now. And this game's going to be on Thursday at 3:30 p.m. We're going to have two pretty good offenses, but Dayton, they kind of struggled. Obviously, they struggled in the tournament, getting beat by Duquesne. And Nevada's got the better defense and the better rebounding, but Dayton has all the equalizer really, and which is the 3-point shot. They're one of the best 3-point shooting teams in the country. So if Nevada can keep them off the 3-point line and rebound the basketball, they'll probably be successful and win this game. But for me, this is a pretty even game. The major difference will be the way Nevada defends the 3-point line, and if Dayton's making their threes. If Nevada can defend and get their rebounds and capitalize off of these rebounds, I think Nevada will be successful. And Dayton, I think they're just a little overvalued here because they had a good start to the season, good, in conference play, but they finished third in their conference. And that's the Atlantic 10. The other two teams didn't even make the tournament, which was Richmond and Loyola. So Dayton, they might be a little fraudulent, and Nevada's a little more battle tested coming out of the Mountain West. They got really hot at the end of the season. I think their only loss in the last couple weeks was in the tournament to Colorado State. Other than that, they're red hot. For me, it's all Nevada all the way. I think that they'll play defense, they'll rebound, and all they have to do is keep Dayton off the 3-point line. If they do that, they should be fine. All right, last game is number 2, Arizona Wildcats, favored by 20.5 against number 15 seed Long Beach State Dirtbags. So I think that's still the Dirtbags, even in basketball. But Arizona, we know Arizona in general, and with Tommy Lloyd, they don't cover spreads in the tournament. They got knocked out in the first round against Princeton last year. I don't think this Long Beach State is on the same level as that Princeton team was. That Princeton team was really strong. But the one thing with Arizona is they have great numbers in every category. They have really great size. So that's what Long Beach State's probably going to struggle with, is the size of Arizona. And Arizona has great guards. It's always tough to lay 20.5 points, and that's something I probably will not do. I'll probably wait to see how far this number could run, probably around 21, 22 points maybe. But I would take Long Beach State. They got to, not just because of the story, it's more of a fate of Arizona and them never being very focused. Long Beach State, they the coach literally got fired, I think, like a couple weeks ago, a month ago, and he's still going and coaching strong, playing strong. His players are playing for him. So, double digits, 20 plus points. I'll probably take Long Beach State, and that's more of a fate of Arizona than buying on the Dirtbags here. But anything can happen. But it's just so hard to trust Arizona. They haven't done anything in the NCAA tournament to prove otherwise. So that's where I'm going. The West region, there's a lot of good games here. A lot of up tempo, a lot of fast teams that wanting to get bring the pace. So I really like what we have here, and I can't wait for these games to get going because this region right here, there's a lot of good ones. But that's what I have, and go ahead and check out our other videos. I'll have them pop up here. Also follow us, subscribe, and check out the website. Like I said, for the official card, we'll be handicapping each game. We did it last year. We finished over about 60% last season and really dominated, especially with UConn winning it all. So go ahead and check us out, and we'll see you all in the next video.